In this video, I'm going to show you operations with the numbers in different bases. So let's begin by doing an addition. Let's say we have 545 in base 7 that needs to be added with 426 in base 7. So first, we add 5 with 6 like we normally do an addition. That is 11 in base 10. So 11 in base 10 can be written, in base 7. So I want to change it to base 7. So 11 divided by 7, it's 1 remainder 4, and 1 divided by 7 is 0 remainder 1. So 11 in base 10, it's 1 4 in base 7. So here we put a 4 and we add a 1. Now 1 plus 4 plus 2 is 7 in base 10, which is 7 in base 7. 7 divided by 7 is 1 remainder 0. 1 divided by 7, it's 0 remainder 1. So it's 1 0 in base 7. So here we put a 0 and we add a 1. 1 plus 5 plus 4, it's 10 in base 10, which is in base 7, 10 divided by 7 equals 1 remainder 3. 1 divided by 7, it's 0 remainder 1. So it's 1 3. So we add 1 3. So the answer is 1304. Let's do a subtraction. So let's say we want to subtract 2 0 in base 4 minus 1 3 in base 4. So we subtract exactly like we subtracted in base 10. So 0 minus 3, well, 0 is smaller than 3, so we have to borrow from here. So when we borrow, we don't borrow tens anymore, we borrow groups of 4, because the base is 4. So then when we borrow from here, this becomes 1, and here we borrow the 4. So 4 minus 3, it's 1, and 1 minus 1 is 0. So we got 1 in base 4. Let's do one more subtraction. Let's say we have 360 in base 7 minus 261 in base 7. So again, 0 minus 1, well, we can't do that. So we have to borrow from here a group of 7. We have to borrow groups of 7 because that's the base. So this becomes 5 and this becomes 7. 7 minus 1 is 6. Now 5 minus 6, I cannot do that. So again, I'm going to borrow a group of 7. So here is going to be 12 because I borrowed the 7 plus 5 is 12. 12 minus 6 is 6, and then 2 minus 2 is 0. So the answer is 6 6. And let's do a multiplication. 2 3 in base 6 times 5 in base 6. So 5 times 3, it's 15. 15 in base 10. Well, 15 in base 10 is equal to what in base 6? So we do divide 15 by 6, we get 2 remainder 3. 2 divided by 6, it's 0 remainder 2. So the answer is 2, 3, right? 2, 3. So here I'm going to put a 3 and I write a 2 because that's to remember that. Now 5 times 2 is 10, plus 2 is 12. So 12 in base 10 equals what in base 6? Well, 12 divided by 6, it's 2 remainder 0. 2 divided by 6, it's 0 remainder 2. So 12 in base 10, it's 2, 0 in base 6.